Joining me now from our bureau in Washington, D.C., Attorney General for the state of Indiana, Curtis Hill. Curtis, Soviet Russia, this sounds more like what we're experiencing right now out of the House of Representatives. It was once said in Soviet Russia, "Show me a man and I will show you a crime." That appears to be the way the modern Democrat Party is operating now that they have control of the House of Representatives. They see their man, it is Donald Trump, and now they are searching for a crime.
Or more like, show me a Trump and there's a crime. That's exactly right. That's not how our system of justice is meant to operate. This is really a scare tactic by the Democrats, who are now definitely afraid that the Mueller report, which we've been hearing about on a regular basis for the last several weeks, it's going to come out next week, it's going to come out next week. Well, more and more people recognize that there is not going to be an indication of collusion on the part of the president. And so now what do? They're going to scatter information and put this out in public opinion to keep the ball rolling that says there's something wrong, there's a crime, there's a crime, there's a crime, and it is abominable behavior.
It appears as though these are almost, in my mind, I have these political attack dogs literally chewing at the ankles of the 45th President of the United States. We have three of the committee heads right now going after the same pieces of the puzzle that they're trying to put together on behalf of impeachment. And one of these pieces, the same piece that they're after, is these private conversations with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Intel Committee, I believe, wants a piece of this. The Judiciary Committee, I think the Oversight Committee. But there's a problem here. The president does have the ability to have private conversations if he wishes. To me, this is a violation of separation of powers.
Well, it's an absolute necessity for the president on our behalf to be able to have candid discussions with world leaders or in people within his own administration. To suggest that the president of the United States can have a conversation with a world leader and then has to disclose the nuances of that conversation, that can threaten all sorts of things. It can threaten world peace. It can threaten domestic agenda and foreign policy. We can't have that. There has to be some ability for the president to maintain the integrity of his conversations on our behalf.
It's all about appearances, right? If they're requesting information about these meetings with Vladimir Putin, then it appears like there's something to hide. That's what they're all about. They're trying to win this battle in the court of public opinion.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We want to throw dirt. We want to throw shade all over the interactions between the president and Putin, and that's what this has been the entire time. It's the media driving this story and driving it as if it were true. And our justice system is intended, if there is a criminal act allegation, our justice system is designed to conduct a legitimate investigation, and an investigation that has integrity, so that we don't make up our minds through the process. We gather information and we let the information take us where it needs to, and we move from there in a court of law. That's what we're hoping to see in the Mueller investigation, where the special prosecutor is reviewing information. Look, he's had several folks that have been indicted thus far, and not a single shred of evidence has suggested that there's collusion on the part of the president with the Russian government. That's what this was supposed to be about. And yet it's sprawling into more and more, and now Democrats are suggesting that every little thing, every little suggestion, every little hint, whether it's involving the campaign, whether it's involving President Trump's business ventures prior to his becoming president of the United States, that all of these things are somehow tied to some grand criminal conspiracy that needs to be played out in a public forum as opposed to a court of law.
And we should point out that a congressional investigation is not the same as a criminal investigation. In other words, there's limited power on what Congress can and cannot investigate, and how much authority they wield. They don't have a court of law necessarily backing what they're doing. But here we have Jerry Nadler now requesting documents from 81. First it was 60, now it's 81 people. The president tweeting about this, calling it great overreach, and I believe he's correct. I believe that this is a form of McCarthyism on steroids. Ostensibly, Jerry Nadler says they're after obstruction of justice, some sort of corruption. These are all very, very vague terms, Curtis. Abuse of power. You can kind of fill in the gaps of where he's going here. But what if these 81 just simply choose to ignore the requests from these committees, in particular Jerry Nadler? What if they do what Eric Holder did and thumb their nose at the United States Congress? Wouldn't that be interesting?
Well, it'll be very interesting indeed. I mean, this is not about getting into court and finding the truth. This has nothing to do with the truth. This is about doing whatever the Democrats can do to sully up this president, to make sure that they keep this ball of confusion bouncing, to be able to make these allegations. This is not even a situation where there's a resolution that they actually want.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.